quality control, and over 10 years she'd risen to become a manager of global quality assurance. Her job was to inspect plants like this Glaxo facility in North Carolina to make sure that the drugs had the right ingredients, the right potency, and met government standards for purity. In 2002, Eckert was assigned to help lead a quality assurance team to evaluate one of Glaxo's most important plants in Cedra, Puerto Rico. 900 people worked here, making 20 drugs for patients in the U.S. But Eckert says that when she saw what was happening to some of the company's most popular drugs, she couldn't believe it.
All the systems were broken. The facility was broken. The equipment was broken. The processes were broken. It was the worst thing I had run across in my career.
The worst because so many things behind these walls were going wrong at once. Eckert says water used to make tablets was tainted with bacteria. Failures on production lines made some drugs too strong, some not strong enough. And the employees were contaminating products, including the antibacterial ointment Bactroban, which was made in a sealed tank to prevent contamination.
They were opening up the lid, and then they were sticking their body into the tank and scraping it with like a paddle.
But this product is supposed to be free of bacteria. Why would they do that?
It saved money.
As her team continued its evaluation of the plant, Eckert says she discovered something much worse than contamination. Because of failures on various production lines, she says that powerful medications were getting mixed up.
Are you saying that different kinds of drugs were packed into the same bottle?
Yes, and that's shocking.
Yes, it is.
Shocking.
Eckert says this chart that she produced for company executives shows the kinds of mix-ups that were happening at Cedra. She identified 9, including Avandia diabetes pills mixed in packages with over-the-counter Tagamet antacids, and Paxil antidepressants mixed with the Avandia diabetes drug.
When you saw these mix-ups happening, what did you do?
I contacted the Vice President of Quality for North America, and I told him that he needed to shut down the factory and call the FDA.
Shut the whole thing down?
Right. I urged him to stop the trucks that were leaving the dock that day.
What happened then?
I went back to work and waited for the news that they had called the FDA or that they had stopped shipments, and it didn't happen.
Eckert says as the mix-ups continued, a pharmacist called the company with a story about a mix-up involving the powerful antidepressant Paxil in its 10-milligram dose. The patient was an 8-year-old boy.
A grandmother came in to pick up this little boy's prescription, and in front of the pharmacist, she opened up the bottle, she tore off the induction seal, and she looked at it and she became upset, and she said, "I knew it. His medicine has always been yellow, but last month it was pink, and he's been so sick."
And what did that mean, the yellow and the pink?
Paxil 10 milligram is yellow. It's not pink.
There is a version of Paxil that is pink. Paxil CR is 25 milligrams. If that's what the pills were, the boy was getting 2.5 times his prescribed dose. Eckert says that she assigned one of her investigators to the case and found that both Paxil doses were made on one production line, which led her to a theory of how the mix-up could have happened.
Maybe there was still Paxil in the hopper, the filling hopper, when they switched out the bottles and changed out the labels. So in that batch, some of the first bottles that went through were labeled 10 milligram when they were actually 25.
She says she took her findings to the same vice president that she had asked to shut down the plant 5 months before.
I took it and I handed it to him. And I said to him, "You know, read this." And he put his head down and put his hands over his face, and he said, "Oh my God, oh my God."
Did they shut down the plant then?
No, they filed a report with the FDA that said that the mix-up was not real. and did not happen at the factory. We all knew, they all knew it was real.
The Glaxo report to the FDA Cheryl Eckert is talking about said it was extremely unlikely the Paxil mix-up occurred at Cedra. We don't know what happened to the boy because drug incident reports don't contain names. But the Glaxo note to the FDA said there were no adverse reactions.